The supernatural, the unexplained, and the unknown. We are a group of dedicated investigators seeking out paranormal expeditions to discover facts and answers of mysterious events while taking on compelling haunted locations, proclaimed existence of cryptological beings, UFO sightings, and more. Teamed up with our individual experiences, supported by intuition, science, and sophisticated forensics technology, we set out to uncover the hard evidence and coexistence of the paranormal. We are brought together as the Paranormal Hunting Observation Group. Follow us as we enter the fog. Terminated.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. This is one of our first introduction videos that we're doing for Paranormal Hunting Observation Group. I'm Jose.
And I'm Angel.
It's nice seeing you all out there. For those of you that had known us and been following us, thank you for following us on YouTube. Some of this will be distributed to some of our other social media, and I'll have Angel tell us a little bit about that here in a second. But if you haven't been to this page yet, and the YouTube channel and all our other sites, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. That'd help us a lot to get our word and our research out there to those of you. So if you want to go ahead and start with that.
So we have Instagram, and if you wanted to reach us on Instagram, it would be at PHOG LLC, which is the PHOG LLC. Facebook is Paranormal Hunting and Observation Group, PHOG. YouTube, Paranormal Hunting and Observation Group. And then we also have our email. You can reach us on our email at enterthefog, PHOG, at gmail.com.
Yep, and we man it pretty regularly, so we'll be monitoring that to reach out to you guys as soon as you message us. We try to get back to you right away. We know there's a lot of people out there that have questions about different things of the unknown, the paranormal, cryptozoology, ufology, you name it. We've been lucky enough to have a lot of experience in those fields. We don't claim to be experts. We're not claiming here to make anybody a believer or to side with certain views politically, religiously, spiritually. We're just here to discuss some of our experiences, the hard data that we've acquired over the years since 2010, since we formed this team. And different people have come and gone since then. A team that we have now is at least a dozen people active, and we hope to grow more into a foundation to reach out to our community and worldwide to bring the message of bringing people together. So without further ado, I want to let you guys know we are a nonprofit. We are now an LLC. I'll let Angel tell you just a little bit about that part since we started back in 2010 and to where we are now as far as the organization goes.
So PHOG has established a little cohesive group of people that, along with our members, they are very active in what we do, and we never charge for any of our services that we provide, whether it's an investigation or if it's a house cleansing that we go in, Jose and I go into. It's always, we never charge. But we do have merchandise that we do sell, and that helps fund the team whenever we have to go and travel, or if we have to stay in hotels or anything like that. Yeah. And that is purely why we formed our LLC, is so that we can help people and not ask for money for it, but still be able to do what we have to do and go where we need to go to help people anywhere in the United States.
One thing I'd like to make clear too, based on that, is we don't try to charge people. And what we think that's just really unethical. But there are expenses that come up. I mean, if we've got to do a lecture at a school or a library or another public venue, a big place where people are coming, of course you need to be compensated for your time. However, that's not what we're in this for. I mean, it's a calling that we've had since we were both little, and we'll tell you a little bit about our experiences. And as far as we break into a series of discussion here on this channel and elsewhere, some of our other team members will be coming on, and we welcome them to do that too. And the thing about it is, I want to say, is people form their YouTube channels and they form all their social media because they want to get likes. We're not here about that. If we already had one like, that's fine. We're at least reaching one person out there and sharing some of this information and things that we feel that it's beneficial to all humankind. We don't discriminate against anyone, or we're very loving people. We'll be straight up with you. That's how we were raised, and our cultures experience that as well, because we're very family oriented, and a lot of people out there are too. So we're just feel that it's a blessing that we get to be in the greatest country in the world, where we get to express our views and our background and all that with the people. So if you guys have any feedback and all, we'd love to hear it. Positive, negative, we'll take it all. I mean, that's when you come out here on this platform, that's what you need to expect. So I'm going to turn over to Angel a little bit, because the two of us are starting this series of our introduction. We felt it be the most important that we start off kind of in our roots a little bit. We're going to only take a couple minutes of that. So I'm going to turn over her for a minute to tell you a little bit about who she is, what she does, and where she comes from.
Hi, I'm Angel. I'm originally from Texas. I come from a Roman Catholic background, an Italian family, and then my mom is indigenous and also Irish. So yeah, that makes me who I am. And at an early age, I knew, and my father also knew, that I had certain gifts given by God. And that's what I always call it. I don't call myself a mystic or call myself an empath. I don't like to label myself, but I do know that there are certain gifts that I have. So I use those gifts for good, and I use those gifts of discernment to communicate with the other side. And I'm a pretty much normal person. I mean, I even come across, when I'm doing an investigation, pretty matter of fact. And sometimes it scares everyone, because I can just say to Jose, the Spirit is right there, and this is what the Spirit is trying to say to us. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I do. I also wear many hats, because I'm part of the promotion, and we do all of the, pretty much everything.
Yeah. So based on that and what Angel's telling you, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then we can come back and she can share a little more personal stuff with you. I was raised Roman Catholic as well. Half of my family is European descent, and Spaniard to be exact. And then on my father's side is more of the indigenous people from South America, Mexico, Central America, you name it. So we have Mayan and Aztec and Yaqui descent from there. And, that's really formed a good bond between the two of us, because we share a lot of likenesses in our upbringing. We were both raised by our fathers, single-parent homes. We lived some pretty hard stuff throughout our lives, which has made us more compassionate towards other people, even in our personal jobs that we do. Our full-time jobs that we're caring for other people, and we generally really do care about other people, or else we wouldn't be doing what we do. But I have to say, I'm descended from grandparents that in Spanish and in Mexico, they're called curanderos, or healers. These are your medicine people. I mean, some Anglos call it witch doctors. Oh, it's not any of that kind of stuff. Or if you hear the word sorcery, you think, oh my gosh, that's evil and all. Well, it depends on where you go and how you take that interpretation. But where I'm brought up from is, one, from a very religious and spiritual background. Faith is everything, and I've had a lot of personal experiences, which we'll share as we go throughout this series. But I wanted to tell you, being descended from people like that were healers, my grandmothers, my grandfathers, I mean, that's a special thing and a privilege and an honor to carry our ancestors on our back. We need to have strong enough shoulders to carry that weight of them, because they prayed for us thousands of years ago for people like ourselves and like you out there. So every one of you are unique just the way God intended. And you should share that with other people. I believe that the human experience is to share your experience with other people. Doesn't matter if you're young or old. We're all in eternity.
And everyone has a story.
Everyone has a story. No one's an expert. We're just experience. This is what I like to call the boot camp for the soul. We come here, we learn, we go back. Maybe we come back again, but maybe it's the same life. Those are the things that we're trying to get into, is finding out. Mine, and I'm sure Angel's going to tell you in a second, mine, I wanted to find out, why was I always in like a haunted house? I had a lot of things like that happen, and which has led a lot of us in the paranormal field doing the work that we do now because of those experiences, helping other people get the answers and trying to seek answers for ourselves. And so, yeah. So your experiences, I mean, you've had, people say, well, are you an empath or are you a psychic? I don't know. We hear that term so much as a catch-all phrase, and I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but really everybody's empathic. Everybody feels things. Now there's different levels of this. Level that I might have, and which has gotten stronger over the time, I can describe as sensitive. I'm not psychic and all, but sometimes I'll be right there, and I trust that sixth and seventh sense. If you know what that is, that's part of your meridian, your chakras, your energy, your insight that God gives you. And I trust that because it's saved me so many times. And it's helped me just when we go into a case, whether it's with creatures or hauntings or ghosts, and there's a difference in that too. But any of those cases, I can basically say, oh yeah, it's right there. This angel right here, since she's been in my life, has helped validate that and confirm that. Yeah, it's not just you randomly saying things, because everybody's subjective. Everything in life is subjective. The so-called saying that truth is stranger than fiction, it really is.
It is.
So,
yeah. And for me, the importance is to still be grounded and be a normal person that works a 9-to-5 job, that lives a normal life, that takes care of my children and my dog and everything, but still has that gift. And so I feel like I can communicate with people on my day-to-day job in retail, but I also can communicate with spirits that have passed over as well. And it's all about frequency, and it's all about energy.
And vibration, right?
Vibration and energy. And I've always told Jose that if you listen, not with your ears, but with your third eye, then you can always pick up on those frequencies. And that's a lot of what we do, because we always try to base all of our investigations on science and
the intuition,
right.
Yeah.
We blend those together, and I think that's why it works so well.
I heard a quote from a movie a few years ago. It was one of the superhero movies, and the guy says, and then he says, science and magic are one and the same. So true. So true. All of these fields, as far as looking for creatures, looking for psychic phenomena, UFOs, on and on, they call this pseudoscience, because things haven't, without a shadow of a doubt, been proven to exist. But everything is possible. Everything is possible, and with an open mind, you can experience so many more things. A wise man once said, his name was Don Juan Matus, and he was a Yaqui shaman, and the great author Carlos Castaneda, God rest his soul, but he wrote about Don Juan. And one of the things that Don Juan said was, a man could live 100 lives and still not experience all the marvels of the universe. That just goes to show you what else is out there besides this human experience. So with that human experience, as we go along and share some of these videos with you, you'll get to know more and more about us, our colleagues, other people we work with, because we'll be bringing them on and we'll be doing videos and all. A lot of people like to do their own podcasts and all, but we figured, what? Why wait around for that? Let's just put it out there and begin to help doing what we want to do for people, instead of just sitting there like, it's a great idea. Let's act on it. So with that being said, one of the first things we'd like to talk about today, just for a few minutes with you, is a lot of people ask us where we live, and this is in Cheyenne. So we're in the state capital of Wyoming. And long story short, over the years growing up here, Angel grew up in Texas, I grew up in Wyoming, and the majority of my life was here in Cheyenne. I have come to find, and we both have, along with our team, there's a lot of activity and phenomena in this city alone. And there's a lot of things to back it up that help support that argument that, hey, there's more than just meets the eye. So people say, hey, is Cheyenne haunted? Well, the majority of our cases starting out with PHOG, we've cut our teeth on, is hauntings and ghosts and other experiences like that. And there's a difference between ghosts and hauntings, and all other people that have done this for a long time can tell you. You got a whole different line of spirits, different kinds of things, earthbound spirits, demonic, the diabolical, just residual, and on and on and on. And we'll help you guys learn about that more if you want to know, because we've learned this from other people and our own experience. So
and we encourage you to ask questions.
Yes.
Ask us questions, leave comments in our Dropbox and everything, and we will answer all questions. It's kind of been a trial and error. Like Jose said, you started PHOG in
2010.
2010.
A couple of friends of mine from work decided we'd get together and do this, and it's
Right.
just grown from there.
Right. And we've learned along the way. We've learned what works and what doesn't work, and what is good and what is not good. And we've evolved. We've evolved from a group that was inquisitive, that wanted to hear and pick up on certain things. Well, then we took it a step further, and we made it to where, okay, now we've heard the things, now we've seen, the apparitions, now what do we do? Yeah. And I feel like if we keep continuing to grow and to learn and evolve, then we are honoring ourselves and the people that we're trying to help, but also we're honoring the people that have passed as well.
And like she's saying, let's be good ancestors. Mm-hmm. Let's be the ancestors that people are like, wow, those guys who could, those people came before us. People on the East Coast, a lot of famous people. Some of them
that we're friends with.
But we don't want to use their names until we actually get to discuss on here, because everybody has to have respect for each other. People throw names out there. Well, I know this guy, I know this woman, I know this person. That's great, but it's more about name dropping, okay?
And we can learn from everyone.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter who they are.
Absolutely. But when we talk about the first subject, at least about hauntings, because there's a lot of people. If you notice on this YouTube channel of PHOG, there's a lot of old EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, the recordings, and a lot of them didn't have a lot of backstory except just the title. So if you guys ever have questions about where did this come from, what were you experiencing, that's what we want to update now. So from this point on, we're going to give more in-depth information as to what was going on, how we approached it, how it ended, and if we had to come back, and what we learned from it, so that we can share that with you. And I'll tell you, as far as paranormal activity goes and all that, we're going to pause this for just a second here, okay? So with that being said, a lot of people want to know about haunted places, and we're going, you always get people scouting. What's in haunted and Cheyenne? That's great. TV shows can come in and do whatever they want to do. But we have always been open about taking people along with us. And let me reiterate on that. If you scout something and say, hey, could you guys come check this out? And you do the work and find out the information, and we discuss it as a team and say, that's worth, well, maybe these people have something, or they need us for a second, just come pray with them, or whatever it is that your need to, you need us to come in. You get to come along. You get to be involved in the case. We'll teach you what we know. We've learned from other people that have taken us and say, hey, come check out this building I work at, or this place I live. And they've even taught us things that maybe we didn't look at before. That's the beauty of it. You just never know how it's going to go. But being professional and having compassion and integrity is so important, and respect for people with each other. That's what makes it work. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of places in Cheyenne. I want to let Angel kind of tell you about just in the last couple of years about some of the locations. We'll try to not to disclose names and things like that, but a little bit about what we've experienced in the last couple of years together, different cases.
My very first investigation, which was almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Almost 3 years ago, was the most pivotal one for me. Not just because I knew nothing about all of the equipment and everything that went into an investigation, but we got pretty much everything that a paranormal investigator dreams of.
That Class A evidence.
Yes.
And there's different levels of it. You know, you get a voice recording, you get video, you get pictures, and then you get the people present there documenting and experiencing it at the same time. That's Class A when you get all those. That's so rare and hard to obtain.
Yeah.
And we did this night. This was one of the typical cases that we go in and we're like, you know, we're calm, collected. Not back in the days we were nervous, like, oh yeah, let's go do this. I'm like, I'm so pumped up. Now we're just, because we've matured and we've embraced this, you know, we still get excited, but we go in and we think nothing's going to happen. We're not going to get anything.
And for me, I start getting the, I call it my spidey sense, because my left ear will start to buzz at a high frequency, and then I know that they're trying to communicate with me, and then I'll get like emotions that come through that they want me to feel, so that I can tell Jose about it, and then it helps us, and we document everything. Everything that comes out of my mouth up from 2 days before up until the actual investigation day. We always have our team member, Casey. Mm-hmm. She documents everything for me, and she never tells me anything. She will be the one that goes and does our research on a certain place or a certain person's house or anything like that. And I like to go in cold. I don't like to know anything, because I will find out when we go in. And I want to keep it that way just for myself, just because I think the experience is more raw if I don't know anything. Exactly. And it helps me, because I don't want to have any preconceived notions or anything like that.
So anyways, we're going to start telling you about some of these, but you're going to have to come back to our next video, because when we pick up from here, we're going to begin to start telling some of the cases and sharing that with you, and some of, not only just in Cheyenne, but other places that we've been in, and other experiences, not just with hauntings, because we know there's a lot of other things out there that people are interested in, and we have a lot of that to share as well. It's time that we disclose some of that. Although we're very careful with sensitive information, we will always have that respect, and we'll look out for you guys as well as you look out for us. So with that note, we're going to sign off for just for now. But we wanted to tell you thank you for letting us into your homes. Again, you know, share our page, like it, subscribe. Facebook's where we have a lot of activity, and now YouTube, you're going to start seeing more content. And Instagram. And these three is where you're going to see us a lot more often this year in 2021. So we're hoping for the best for everybody, that we can get out there again and really be involved with people close up and personal, because, man, that's just the best, having that experience. So for ourselves and for all of our team members that we have, you'll get to meet them soon too, because we'll be filming them as well and doing our own little roundtables and interviews with each other, and then also other people in the field that we're going to bring in that we've talked with. And we're really excited about doing this. So we're glad that we got to come into your homes tonight. We want to tell you thank you. We hope that the Creator blesses you and your families, keeps you safe and healthy. Anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
Also, Jose is wearing one of our hats and one of our t-shirts. Yep. We do sell merchandise, so make sure you hit us up, and we will get that information to you. And
just remember, all the proceeds, we're nonprofit, but those are going to fund some of the trips, the research, or we're going somewhere if we have to reach out to somebody, and we can get out there to help them or help them in whatever way that we can. So that really helps us. And we want to help out with charities and all that as well, because people need each other. We all need each other. So, you know, love rules. So as always, take a look at the evidence that we share with you, listen to it, observe it like we do. That's what's part of our title, Paranormal Hunting Observation Group. We're here to observe, and as always, you decide. So just keep a tab on us and enter the fog.
Enter the fog.
Thanks again, guys.